how's the first day at work this time?
That's all we need.
Bartender, one beer please.
Better make that two.
Are you a hard-working, passionate, individualistic American in a capitalistic society? Because I know we are.
And after a long, hard week of working for the man, doesn't nothing feel better than a nice, cold American cocktail?
Thank you, sir. But unfortunately for us, we work the late night shift. Last call, guys.
Has this ever been you? Feeling like your night's gonna end before it even starts? So come on in, sit down, and open up a tab.
And let us show you, my fellow Americans, why last call is the wrong call.
And don't worry, the knowledge is on us.
As it currently stands in American society, the act of serving alcohol past 2 a.m. would be considered deviant. So if last call is called before 2 a.m., so not only is the establishment and the bartender not deviating from these laws, but the individual who is consuming alcohol within these premises are also not deviating from their social norms. However, we urge you as American citizens to reconsider this act as deviant and redefine what you see as deviant as those who stop drinking before 2 a.m. The following campaign video will use moral, medical, legal, financial arguments to further convince you why last call should be a deviant act. If these boys give up at 2 a.m., so I mean, out of all the reasons we should eliminate last call, and allow the distribution of alcohol past 2 a.m. in many states, but I feel it's best if we start out with the medical reasons. Would you agree? Are you at home? So I spoke with my aunt, who is, dean of the nursing academy at UC Davis, and she has hospital records, like, on a snap of a finger she can get them. I was looking them over, and on the weekends from Thursday night until Saturday night, after 2 a.m., there's a high rate of patients that check in at those times, majority of which alcohol-related injuries. Driving while intoxicated. Think about that, okay? We eliminated this 2 a.m. last call, forcing the patrons to leave these bars. They will be able to remain within the safe confinement of this bar until morning time. It's a scary place out in the world, especially at nighttime. Very scary. If we were legally able to stay within the four walls of these bars, a sense of safety and assurance will be achieved, because nothing bad can happen except maybe you run up your tab a little too high, if you know what I mean. You know what I mean?
Daniel, I'm glad that you brought up some medical issues regarding DUIs.
Thank you.
Did you know that it is argued that eliminating last call from bars, clubs, and restaurants would have a large increase in DUIs? Well, statistically, that's incorrect. According to California Senator Mark Leno, he said that cities that allow longer bar hours do not experience higher rates of alcohol-related crashes in places with normal hours. To further prove this point, I have statistics that show no correlation with DUIs and longer bar hours. Well, thanks to centurycouncil.org, I compared 4 states, including California, and looked at all of the total DUI arrests and fatalities and compared the numbers. The 3 other states I chose was New York, Florida, and Louisiana, which all have bar closing times of 4 a.m. as compared to California, which is 2 a.m. The total arrests in California were 104,345, where New York was 35,541, Florida 43,784, and Louisiana, which was 6,032. As far as the fatalities were concerned, California had 774, New York 315, Florida 716, and Louisiana 226. The figures and numbers were crunched in 2011.
Then according to your research, then what do these numbers and figures, what do they mean?
Well, it directly shows that there's no correlation with DUI arrests and DUI fatalities and the hours at which the bar closes, which directly supports Senator Mark Leno's statement.
And you're saying this because California has a 2 a.m. closing time compared to these other states you pointed out which have a 4 a.m. closing time, correct?
Correct, and yet California still has more arrests and fatalities. I'm absolutely baffled.
But in all seriousness, I am very glad you brought that up because that reminded me I wanted to speak on Senator, what was his name again?
Mark Leno.
So California Senator Mark Leno, that's correct? So California Senator Mark Leno in 2012 recently was involved in a Senate bill that was actually fighting for a cause very similar to ours. So California Senator Mark Leno was one of the major spearheaders of Senate Bill 635, which legally stated that California bars had the right to stay open past 2 a.m. Well, Senator Leno is not the only political figure in the United States who has also attempted to eliminate the last call from society. There have been recent attempts from Michigan, where they considered a 4 a.m. last call for alcohol. Also in Philadelphia, there were attempts to extend the late call. I know, so we're not the only moral crusaders in society today that are fighting for this cause. I mean, though our arguments regarding medical and legal and financial issues may differ, the morality of the American citizen holds true in all states. We have been socialized to perceive what and what is not deviant. And I mean, if we look at prohibition, for example. So prohibition did effectively instill morals in society. So when they banned alcohol, the 18th Amendment, when they banned the distribution and consumption of alcohol in 1920 in America, it basically labeled a great American pastime as a deviant pastime. And when they repealed this amendment in 1932, the 21st Amendment, if I'm not mistaken, they took back the 18th Amendment saying that drinking and distributing alcohol is now legal again. After 12 years of being socialized that consuming alcohol was a deviant behavior, I can't imagine the confusion it must have caused for some people.
I'm confused right now. Speaking of prohibition, do you know what I learned in my sociology of deviance course at Sac State?
Wait. Social Deviant Sex at 158 with Jennifer Murphy?
Yeah, her.
Really?
I love that class.
Dude, great professor. Very good class.
Right? So actually, what Prohibition did, while making drinking seem as a deviant activity, the actual intent was that it marginalized Catholic immigrants into this country.
Marginalized?
Yeah. Made them seem like lesser beings.
Oh, because they were
Catholic.
It's probably safe to say that although Prohibition ended in 1932, now in today's society we have what we can call a 2 a.m. prohibition.
You know, I'm no expert on the Constitution, but I didn't know my pursuit of happiness stopped at 2 a.m.
Bartender, another one, please. So we've just spent the past few minutes discussing, many arguments of why we should change our perceptions of deviance in regards to the topic of last call. All seriousness aside, now that we've handled, the logistics, the business side of it, so to speak, let's talk about who and what can potentially benefit from this.
Yeah, I think it's a lot more than people actually think. Hey, darts just opened up.
Go shoot some darts. Why don't you just discuss one of the benefits you think would occur if we eliminate last call from society, James?
Well, I think one of the fundamental values we hold in this country is small business. And the majority of the bars that operate in this country are small businesses. With them being open longer, they get more revenue. I mean, if you think about it, most of the people that even go to the bars, they go around 10 o'clock. I don't think that's fair. So you open it up more, that means they get more money, you get more taxes from them. Then another benefit of that, they open longer hours, labor laws get involved, then you hire more people to run the late shift. But what do you think?
If bars are open later, more people will come, more people will need rides, when people need rides and they don't want to get a DUI, and again, who's going to walk home from a bar? You're going to have to find a way to get home somehow. This would mean that there is a higher need for public transportation officials, thus meaning more job opportunities.
Everyone's happy.
Oh, man. What a night it's been.
It's been pretty wild.
Right? It's been real, partner.
It's been great. It's been a lot of fun.
My fellow Americans, we would like to thank you for embarking on this wonderful journey with us. We hope that not only was this campaign informative, but also motivational, and that you will hopefully be moral crusaders with us in hopes to end the dreaded last call. And before we go, we would like to just say one last thing. All of you, remember that last call
Is the wrong call.
God bless America, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much.
Love
Take care
it.
of yourself.
Love this country. Lao Mao brown cow, Lao Mao brown cow, Lao Mao brown cow, brown cow.
I mean, we're rolling.
Yeah, yeah.
Shit, we're rolling.